Is it really Andy Reid's responsibility?
At this level, no, it's not. There's a certain level as a player that no matter what your coach is, you should be ready to rumble on game day.
Yeah, I feel like Andy Reid's always got his guys ready. Mahomes' first loss to the Broncos ever. It was the first time he's lost on the road in the AFC West.
Which is wild.
But a blip, or are you actually worried about this team at this point?
A blip for sure. Is there cause for panic? Absolutely not. But are there some concerning things that the Chiefs are doing? Yes. We've talked about hero ball on this set quite a bit, and I say it's not a sustainable way to win. And the Chiefs were kind of the team that was breaking that mold.
Right.
Until tonight, Jay. You look at this, yes, there were the 2 interceptions, but beyond that, they had a hard time protecting. There was a fumble. They also had some brutal drops. I mean, you look at this one, you thought Mahomes' magic was going to come through here, 4th and 2, bring him back to a 1-score game. That's a tough play not to make. But again, when I say some concerning things, is this team needs a wide receiver or a number 2 option in the pass game. They can't simply rely every single week on Kelsey and Mahomes to be magical. Today, they were just okay, that combination, and seemingly no one stepped up. You add in a couple turnovers there, and all of a sudden you have the Denver Broncos, who 4 weeks ago or whatever it was, had 70 points hung on them, beat the defending Super Bowl champions. Welcome to the NFL.
That's why they play the games. After a real rocky start to the season, in your mind, officially, are they back?
Officially, the Cincinnati Bengals are back.
Love it.
I mean, Joe Burrow tonight was electric. Threw for 283, ran for, I think, another 44 against a front seven that is very, very stout.
Yes.
And it's not, he had a couple games a few weeks ago where it was, we threw the ball to Jamar Chase a million times and Jamar made a lot of plays. That wasn't tonight. Jamar obviously made plays, but so did everybody else.
Yeah.
And that, to me, was what was impressive. Again, we talked about him running around. You look at this throw here for a TD, just an absolutely accurate, incredibly thrown ball. Down the field, he's thrown it very, very well. The big 3 were heavily involved, and he was able to extend plays. I mean, to me, when you look at this team, this offense, if they can protect Joe Burrow, which they've been doing, they are incredibly hard to stop. Because you've got Jamar Chase, but you also got Higgins, you got Boyd, and Mixon is a very, very good running back. The Bengals are back.
What about the Niners? They've lost 3 straight now, and they were on an incredible roll that we thought was going to take them right to the Super Bowl pretty much unscathed. Now they're looking a little rough. Are you worried about them?
Let's call them the second in the NFC West Niners.
Oh, that's right. We're going to get to that. Don't worry. Don't you worry.
I'm pretty excited for that chat.
I know.
But am I worried about the Niners? You look at offensively, and the glaring issue here is Purdy and the picks. He's thrown, I think, 5 interceptions in the last 3 games, which is not good. But for me, I think he'll clean that up. He's an extremely good game processor, and he can make good decisions. He will clean this up. What I get a little nervous about, again, not panicked, but is actually on their defense. Offensively, you're missing Debo, you're missing Trent Williams. Defensively, they got beat by P.J. Walker. Now, the defense played well. They were talking 3 games ago against the Browns. Kirk Cousins absolutely shredded this team 2 weeks ago.
He did.
Or last week, excuse me. And then you come out today at home, and Burrow has over 280, rushes for 40, and you just get absolutely shelled with 31 points. Now, granted, some of them was bad field position, but where I get a little nervous is, Jay, this defense was supposed to be almost a generational style defense.
Yeah.
They lose their D coordinator and D'Amico Ryan's the head coach, and you got Steve Wilks, and what many people might not have seen was after last week's loss, Kyle Shanahan was out there in the media talking about a cover 0 play. Didn't really like Steve Wilks calling. Now, all of a sudden, Steve Wilks goes out and gets, beat up a little bit again by the Bengals. I think there's a little trouble brewing. That's all I'll say.
Here's the best part. We put this togetger for you, or should I say Hound Dog Harrison, our stats guy. Look who's first in the NFC West. Oh, boy. You said it. They had a chance at the start of the season. You were the one who said it.
I mean, let me make my case here.
Absolutely.
Jay. Let's start on the offensive side of the football here. They got weapons. They've got a lot of weapons. I mean, it starts with Geno, and they want to have a great run game. We'll get into that for a sec. But you look at this receiving core, I mean, they're elite. The problem right now is that their offensive line is banged up. When these guys get healthy, you're talking about, like we said earlier, Tyler Lockett. I mean, first and foremost, he's quick, he's great at the scrambles, and he's just a very consistent receiver. Then you got the big guy, DK Metcalf.
Oh, yeah.
Down the field shot. Is he going to get 15-yard penalties here and there? Sure. But he's going to make some big plays. Now we got to get this guy going. I mean, you got a first-round pick in JSN here.
Yep.
Game-winning tutty today. You got to love it. Okay, let's talk about the run game. We saw this is last year, I believe he was second in Offensive Rookie of the Year voting. You got Walker.
Yep.
You got Charbonnet, the draft pick out this year, who runs the ball very physical. So, again, I'm pumping my guys' tires here. And you got Gino, who is playing at a very, very high level. And you have the wizard, Pete Carroll.
There he is.
So, when you look at this team right now, it's a shame that they're not playing San Francisco next week when they're banged up. Right? But this team has the makings offensively of being very, very good. They still haven't put everything together. And defensively, I think they have some issues they're still working through. But the foundation there, especially with Witherspoon and Woolen at the two corners, I'm just saying, Seahawks got a shot.
Here
they got a shot.
And they look good doing it. And you were wondering, the Niners and Seahawks will score off twice in a 3-week stretch, late November, early December. So get ready for that. Do you have as much faith in Zach Wilson as Zach Wilson has in himself?
That's just a bold-faced lie.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't. You know I like to be honest on here, Jay.
Oh, please.
Do I have as much faith? And he gets the ball at 24 seconds left. By the end of the day, he threw for 240. But let's not forget the touchdown to Breece Hall early was a 2-yard pass check down. He turned to a 50-yard completion. And on that drive, he throws for 2 29-yard completions. I mean, you've barely been able to throw the ball the entire game.
Yeah.
And it's pouring rain. You're like, oh, it's 24 seconds. We have no timeouts. No bigs.
I mean, Graham Gano, veteran kicker, misses a kick inside 40 yards that he absolutely should have made, and that basically the game is over at that point. So,
I mean, Jay, I'm pulling for the Jets.
Yeah.
I honestly, I love Robert Saleh. You know, he was in Seattle my first year. I love the guy. I think he's a tremendous coach. But let's be honest here. They got away with one today. Great defensive performance. Let me take that one back.
Listen,
offensively, that was tough.
if this team keeps putting it together, I feel like Aaron Rodgers is going to pull
Connor
McDavid, and he is coming back.
Did you see him slinging it in the warm-ups?
I mean, he could be on one leg, and I think we'd have more confidence than we would with Zach.